Today, we're diving into something that's incredibly hard to see when you're right in the middle of it. We're talking about how some of the darkest personality traits can actually disguise themselves as love. So let's get into how you can spot the difference.
You know, there's a concept in psychology called the dark triad. Sounds like something out of a movie, right? But it's very real. It covers 3 personality traits: Machiavellianism, narcissism, and psychopathy. Today, we're pulling one of those, psychopathy, out of the shadows to see the mask it wears in relationships.
So how do you even tell the difference between genuine charm and, well, calculated manipulation? That's exactly what we're here to do. We're going to break down the specific traits that expose this deceptive game for what it really is. Okay, so we've broken this down into 10 critical red flags. But listen, it's really important to see this not as some kind of simple checklist. It's all about the pattern. A single flag? That could just be a weird personality quirk. But when you start seeing a bunch of them together, that's when the alarm bells should be going off.
First up, superficial charm. Have you ever met someone who seemed almost perfect? I'm not just talking about being charismatic. This is an intense, overwhelming, almost hypnotic kind of charm. It feels polished, it feels intense, and honestly, it usually feels way too good to be true, because it is.
Number 2 is a big one, a total lack of empathy. We're talking about a complete and utter disconnect from your feelings. You could be sharing your happiest moment or your deepest pain, and what you get back is a blank stare, or even worse, irritation. It's a chilling sign that your emotional world just doesn't even register for them.
And then there's the pathological lying. This isn't about little white lies we all tell sometimes. No, this is a constant, effortless stream of deception about everything, big and small. They do it without a hint of guilt because to them, the truth is just something you bend and shape whenever it suits you.
And all that lying feeds directly into number 4, manipulative behavior. This is where you might start to feel like you're losing your mind. They're masters of gaslighting, making you question your own sanity. They use guilt tripping and they shift blame so that somehow nothing is ever their fault. Every single move is designed for one thing, to keep you under their control.
Next up is impulsivity. And look, we're not talking about fun, spontaneous weekend trips. This is pure recklessness. They make huge, life-altering decisions on a whim, sudden risks, crazy purchases, quitting a job, and they leave a trail of chaos behind them. Chaos that you usually have to clean up.
This goes hand in hand with a chronic sense of irresponsibility. Promises mean nothing, obligations are just things to be avoided, bills don't get paid, commitments are forgotten, and there's always an excuse. You eventually realize they just operate as if the basic rules of adult life don't apply to them.
And all of this leads to what you could call a parasitic lifestyle. I know that's a strong word, but it fits. It's a one-way street. They drain your resources, your money, your energy, your social circle, everything, and they give absolutely nothing of substance back. You basically just become a resource for them to use up.
This next one is genuinely frightening. Poor behavioral controls. We're talking about explosive rage over something tiny, followed moments later by a totally eerie, unnatural calm. It's like it never even happened. That emotional whiplash is terrifying, and it's designed to keep you walking on eggshells.
Now, this one can be tough to spot because they are experts at hiding it, but often there's a hidden history of trouble. You might hear bits and pieces about being expelled, about scams, about a long line of broken friendships, or legal issues that they always downplay or conceal. The real clues are often in the past they try so hard to hide.
And finally, number 10, a total lack of realistic long-term goals. All they'll talk a big game. They have these vague, grandiose dreams of being rich or famous, but if you look closely, there's zero concrete plan or effort to actually get there. It's all just a fantasy designed to keep you hooked on a future that's never going to happen.
So let's be crystal clear here. What we're talking about, these aren't just personality quirks. This isn't just dating someone who's a bit flawed. When you see these signs together, you are looking at a deliberate, strategic pattern. It's a 3-step process: seduction, exploitation, and then, once they're done with you, discard.
Okay, so recognizing this pattern is the first huge essential step. But what do you do next? How do you actually protect yourself? Let's get into the game plan.
This really brings us to the most important question of all, doesn't it? If this is all starting to sound way too familiar, if you're recognizing your own partner in these descriptions, what in the world are you supposed to do?
The response needs to be clear and direct. Step 1, listen to your gut. That feeling that something is deeply wrong, that's your alarm system. Don't ignore it. Step 2, distance yourself. Create space, both physically and emotionally, to keep yourself safe. And step 3, and this is absolutely non-negotiable, seek professional help. Find a therapist who gets it. You cannot and should not go through this alone.
And that, right there, is the key takeaway from all of this. Awareness really is your strongest defense. Understanding these patterns is how you build a shield for your mind and for your heart. So stay vigilant, protect yourself, because valuing your own well-being enough to act on what you see, that's everything.